My skin was so itchy and so dry, it felt like fire ants were crawling all over me and slowly nibbling away at my hands, feet, and legs. It was one of the absolute worst nights of my life. That's what Sarah said to her husband that morning when he said good morning to her and asked her how she had slept. As they started to make the bed together, he noticed that the sheets underneath where she had slept were speckled and streaked with blood. It wasn't anything gory, just dozens of tiny spots in varying shades of red to brown, depending on when the little sore had opened up during the night. She explained her routine. She'd wake up feeling like she was on fire, like she wanted to jump out of her skin or just scratch it all off. And trying not to wake her husband, she'd slide out of bed and make her way down the dark hall to the bathroom where once again she would clean and tend to her swollen, irritated, and now bludgeoned skin. On a bad night, this would happen as many as 5 or 6 times. On a good night, maybe just once or twice. But it wasn't just nighttime either. Sarah itched and scratched all day long, often leaving a pile of flaky skin wherever she went. She'd even cut her nails down to the painful nub, hoping to minimize the damage she was doing to her own skin. And one night, just as dawn approached, just like Sarah had been up for what seemed like days, she looked at herself in the mirror and she screamed, "I cannot take it anymore." And even though it seemed as if Sarah was at the end of her rope, in that moment, she vowed to once and for all find a solution. And ultimately, that's what led her to my office. Hi, I am Dr. Joshua Levitt, and I hear stories like Sarah's all the time. But no matter how many times I do, it still fills me with sadness and frustration because I know just how unforgiving red, itchy, flaky, and irritated skin can be, how it can affect someone at any age, and how it can really ruin someone's life. Beyond the obvious pain and irritation that comes along with these types of skin issues, they also bring a lot of embarrassment. They make people self-conscious and lead to social isolation and desperation. The worst part is that even for a natural medicine specialist like myself, skin problems that present with red, puffy, flaky, itchy skin can be tough to manage because they can be brought on by a wide range of underlying causes. And that includes lifestyle and diet choices, often involving including or avoiding particular foods. And that's why one of the first things I recommend to folks like Sarah who come to my office with any sort of skin condition is that they make a few simple changes to their diet. For example, I recommend that they increase their intake of omega-3 rich foods like wild-caught cold water fish. Many studies show that increasing your intake of these omega-3s is associated with a decrease in inflammation, including inflammation of the skin. I also encourage my patients to eat more bioflavonoid-rich foods like apples, blueberries, blackberries, onions, broccoli, and even kale. Bioflavonoids are plant-derived compounds that possess potent antioxidant and antihistamine properties so they can reduce inflammation and allergic reactions. I also suggest that anyone struggling with irritated skin increase their intake of fermented foods, things like sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha, and kefir. These foods contain natural probiotics, which can help improve gut health, boost immunity, and yes, improve the health and therefore the appearance of the skin. And finally, I have them increase their intake of foods containing healthy fats, foods like olives, nuts, seeds, avocados, and coconut oil. These types of fats are a vital component of our cell membranes, and they help maintain both the structural and functional integrity of our skin. And while adding these foods to your diet is an important first step, it is often not enough. It is equally important to avoid inflammatory foods like refined sugar, high fructose corn syrup, refined grains, sugary drinks, hydrogenated oils, and any other ultra-processed foods. People with skin issues also do well to stay away from what I call trigger foods. These are foods known to trigger irritated and itchy skin. Things like dairy products, peanuts, wheat, eggs, and soy, and even certain types of fish and shellfish. Now, just to be clear, this is only a partial list, although I do find that many of these are the biggest and most common culprits. And so getting a handle on your diet, it definitely helps, but it's not the only solution. There are a wide range of skin triggers out there, including stress, soap, laundry detergent, environmental toxins, even certain types of metal jewelry or accessories, especially if they contain nickel. In other words, triggers are hard, almost impossible to escape. And the fact that modern medicine hasn't come up with a safe, effective, non-toxic solution, that doesn't help the situation either. The truth is, current treatments leave a lot to be desired. They rarely address the underlying cause of the problem, and they often come with potentially nasty side effects, not to mention that the price tag of some of the newest prescription creams are absolutely obscene. Luckily, in my years of practicing natural medicine, in addition to the dietary changes that I just mentioned, I have found one solution that consistently delivers excellent results. It's a simple 30-second skin ritual done twice per day that I recommend to any of my patients with skin issues. Doing this one thing directly provides your skin with potent but soothing anti-inflammatory effects, powerful antioxidation, rich moisturizing, and effective antimicrobial action. Now, we've known about this powerful natural skin healing remedy for more than half a century, but studies are just now verifying it scientifically. For example, in one study, researchers used this same technique on the skin on participants with red, flaky, irritated skin, but they only applied it to one side of the body. The other side was left untreated. And after 1 week, researchers observed a significant improvement on the treated side with respect to swelling, redness, and overall appearance. There was no change in the untreated side. So in the next few minutes, I will share with you what my skin healing 30-second ritual is and exactly how to do it. But first, let me start by properly introducing myself and telling you a true story about the time that this same skin healing miracle may have just saved my mother-in-law's leg, or maybe even her life. As I mentioned, my name is Dr. Joshua Levitt, and I am a board-certified naturopathic physician, and in that capacity, I own and run one of the most well-respected holistic medicine practices in New England. This is where I see patients and where I serve as a clinical preceptor at the Yale School of Medicine. Connecticut is a long way from sunny Southern California, where I was born and raised and where I started my medical education. I have a degree in physiology from UCLA and an unofficial minor in surfing, which I did a lot of out there, and a doctorate from Bastyr University in Seattle. It's the most prestigious naturopathic medical education in the world. My education and training has earned me the trust of physicians in every specialty who often refer their most complex and challenging patients to me every day. And best of all, I've had the opportunity to work with thousands of real-life patients over the past 20 years. And during this time, I have helped many who thought that they couldn't be helped. But honestly, all of this talk about me, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable because this really isn't about me. It's about you and how the approach that I've developed can help you eliminate the pain and the embarrassment of red, flaky, puffy, and irritated skin. So I want to share a short story with you because when it comes to proving the benefits of natural alternatives, there is no bigger practice what you preach moment than recommending it to your mother-in-law. No joke. When I say this natural skin ritual saved her leg, I am 100% serious. You see, a few years ago, my mother-in-law had a large, deep wound on her leg, and it was the result of a surgical procedure. The surgical wound had been infected, and it was not healing well at all. Her surgeon had recommended all sorts of different treatments, ointments, topical treatments, but nothing was working. And her next step was going to be an appointment with a wound care specialty clinic. But before that happened, I wanted to see this wound for myself. So right there in the living room after dinner, we undressed the wound. And what I saw underneath that bandage was a deep, raw, open sore. It looked like somebody had taken a spoon and scooped out a large chunk of her lower leg, which is why my family was absolutely shocked with what I said next. I told her that what I wanted her to do was pack that wound with honey. That's right, the natural solution that I've been telling you about is in fact honey, but not just any honey, a special type of honey that's called manuka honey. And yes, I told my mother-in-law to pack a deep surgical wound with it. It was also a major leap of faith for her. Do I trust my son-in-law, who's a naturopathic physician, his advice and fill up a hole in my leg with something that I usually drizzle over my oatmeal or put inside my tea? Well, fortunately, this story has a very happy ending. See, she took my advice and we packed the wound with a topical application of manuka honey. And within 24 hours, the progress was obvious. We could see what we call granulation tissue developing within the base of the wound. And that's evidence that new skin and soft tissue cells are growing to heal the wound from the inside out. And then gradually, just as you might expect, the healing process continued until that wound healed over completely. And all that's left now is a scar and a pretty good story. So after helping my mother-in-law, the matriarch of our family, I got to thinking, what would have happened if I had not recommended the manuka honey? The truth is, this situation could have turned out much worse, and that would not have been acceptable, especially since the research behind manuka honey is so incredibly solid. So let's talk about manuka honey and what makes it so very special. For starters, manuka honey is made in Australia and in New Zealand by bees that pollinate the native manuka honey bush. And in addition to its antimicrobial benefits, manuka honey has also been shown to boost the production of specialized cells that can repair tissue that's been damaged by infection and quickly ease pain and swelling, just like it did in my mother-in-law. Plus, manuka honey generates hydrogen peroxide. And while hydrogen peroxide is known to be effective against a wide range of microorganisms, manuka honey also has other ingredients with powerful antibacterial qualities. And one of the most powerful is methyl glyoxal, which we call MG. In fact, studies have shown that MG is even effective against multi-drug resistant organisms, which is why manuka honey may be the perfect skin protectant and why I recommend that my patients apply manuka honey to their hands after washing them or any other irritated skin areas. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dr. Josh, it must be impossible to function with sticky honey all over your hands or on your skin. And yes, you would be right about that. Not to mention, it's a complete mess. But the protection it provides is indeed unparalleled. And that is why I decided to create a physician-grade manuka honey infused skin formula to make it easy to get all of the benefits of honey without the mess. But that is not all I did, because while manuka honey is amazing, it's not the only ingredient in my natural medicine chest. If my 20+ years of herbal medicine experience has taught me anything, it's that there are many plants that heal, and some of them are truly revolutionary. So I took everything I know about herbal medicine and combined the best herbal extracts from the highest quality sources, and I put them into what I call the Manuka Miracle Formula. It's these additional ingredients that cement Manuka Miracle not only as a natural antimicrobial, but as one of the most powerful skin health products that's ever been created. And I've never met a patient who wasn't concerned about their skin, whether it's redness, lumps or bumps, pimples, dark spots, light spots, rashes, dryness, flaking, wrinkles, cracks, fissures, any type of skin irritation. My natural skincare toolbox has always done the trick. And that's because the tools in my toolkit include a collection of all natural ingredients that come together in the Manuka Miracle Formula for maximum skin soothing power. And as you are about to see, the ingredients I've chosen are all rich in antioxidants to help fight the brutal effects of our external and our internal environments. And that includes normal everyday exposures and the excessive amount of hand washing and sanitizing that we are all doing these days. So the first ingredient is Calendula officinalis. Calendula is a beautiful orange daisy-like flower that's also known as the medicinal marigold. Herbalists have long known that the beauty of calendula is much more than just skin deep, because the oil inside of those pretty orange flowers contains anti-inflammatory compounds, and it's directly antimicrobial, which is why herbalists have always relied on it for rashes, redness, burns, bites, stings, swellings, any kind of skin infections. And calendula is so gentle and safe that it's also a favorite ingredient to use on babies' bottoms, and you know what they say about those. Our next ingredient, I added Symphytum officinale. You may know this plant by its common name. It's called comfrey. To gardeners, comfrey has a reputation as a prolific grower. In fact, if you were to take a piece of comfrey root and chop it up into tiny pieces and then throw it out into your garden, a few weeks later, you would have comfrey growing everywhere. And remarkably, comfrey leaves and the roots contain a compound called allantoin, which also has a healthy growth-promoting effect when it's applied to your skin. So the addition of comfrey into Manuka Miracle adds a dose of regenerative compounds, including that allantoin, tannins, and rosmarinic acid, which reduce wrinkles, speed wound healing, and promote the growth of youthful, healthy skin cells. And compounds recently discovered in comfrey combine to make your skin softer, more supple, and even more elastic when it's used regularly on top of the skin, resulting in proven anti-aging properties that are shown in multiple studies to be attributed to the allantoin that I described inside the comfrey plant. So when it came to choosing my next ingredient, it's an iconic flower with a very famous seed and a strong base of scientific literature that made the cut. The next ingredient is sunflower seed oil. There's a reason why sunflower seeds are a favorite of birds and also a favorite among baseball players. Sunflower seeds are ultra rich in vitamins A, C, D, and E. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant on the skin, and it also helps retain moisture, reduces fine lines, and protects against UV radiation from the sun. And the oil from the sunflower seed is rich in beta carotene, which helps prevent premature aging. Vitamins A, C, and D, they all act as antioxidants, and they fight blemishes at their bacterial source, and they aid in the regeneration of new skin cells. The omega-6 and the vitamin E found in sunflower oil together, they reduce inflammation in the skin and thereby reduce redness and the roughness and promote the growth of new cells. Any dermatologist will tell you when it comes to your skin, the more antioxidants, the better. And that's why the entire formula is suspended in a base of olive oil. You may know it as the healthy core of the Mediterranean diet, but olive oil is also an antioxidant-rich powerhouse, and it's known to prevent premature skin aging. It gives you that youthful look that we all desire as we age. And it's been shown to be an effective moisturizer during and following sun exposure because it helps protect against the adverse effects of UV rays, aids in the regeneration of any damaged skin after sun exposure. It's also a bountiful source of fat-soluble vitamins, including A, D, E, and K. The healthy benefit of those fat-soluble vitamins is that they tend to penetrate the skin and stay in the body longer compared to their water-soluble vitamin cousins. Olive oil also contains antimicrobial properties that enhance the skin's ability to heal. And last, but very definitely not least, I held all of the above ingredients in Manuka Miracle together with another gift from the bees, and that is beeswax. Beeswax has so many beneficial compounds and effects that it's fair to say it is a gold mine for your skin. It promotes a healthy inflammatory response. It has antiseptic properties. It resists microbial growth. It contains potent antioxidants, and its most empowering factor is its ability to form a protective shield, a layer over your skin. That shield inhibits toxins and pathogens from entering the body through chapped and broken skin, like those that develop from excessive hand washing or using alcohol-based sanitizers, like so many of us are using these days. These properties of beeswax help to decrease the irritation and the redness that's associated with infection, skin trauma, and many, many dermatologic conditions. When the skin is protected with beeswax, the soothing effect inhibits additional irritation and resists the growth of microorganisms so that the skin can regenerate and heal. And that leaves you with a renewed, soft, and glowing complexion. So here's the bottom line. Our modern lives, including our diets, lifestyles, and even our own personal hygiene practices, like washing or sanitizing our skin, is putting our skin at risk. And that is why Manuka Miracle is the future of skincare. You see, when it comes to all the skincare advice, the so-called experts are forgetting one thing. Not only do you have to keep your skin free from pathogens and toxins, but you also have to keep your skin healthy. And there is nothing that offers the kind of protection that Manuka Miracle does. As I mentioned earlier, Manuka only grows on the islands of Australia and New Zealand. And in order for it to be labeled Manuka honey, it must go through a series of tests that are specified by government industry regulators. This super high-tech testing includes 5 different scientific laboratory evaluations that assess the biochemical constituents, even the DNA of compounds that are in the honey. And if and only if it passes all 5, can the label actually say Manuka honey. So, while Australia and New Zealand are a long way from home, I hope you now can see why it is such an important addition to your health protection plan. You see, by making my Manuka Honey Miracle part of your daily skin routine, you will be giving yourself maximum skin protection. Plus, you'll be healing your skin, keeping it moist, soft, and healthy. There really is nothing better than the 30-second protocol you can do with Manuka Miracle. And that's why I'd like to get you started today with a very special offer. But before I tell you about it, I want to first tell you about a free gift that I want to send to you. It's a copy of my comprehensive guide to the medicinal uses of honey, and it's called The Honey Phenomenon. Here's just a sample of what you will discover inside this book that I wrote. The gift enzyme that bees make that lets us take full advantage of the energy and the nutrition that's found in honey. How honey can be used to promote healthy and sustainable weight loss, believe it or not. The many ways to use honey to heal and revitalize your hair, skin, teeth without toxic and expensive conventional products. The 16 types of antioxidants found in honey, all of which rebuild the cells in your body, fight free radical damage, and help to reduce the visual effects of aging. How honey reduces homocysteine levels in the bloodstream, which can help support a healthy cardiovascular system and assist with healthy brain aging. And how to use honey to help clear up coughs, colds, and even allergies. When you choose to receive your free copy today, you'll have everything you need to start putting this valuable information to work. And when you use the Manuka Miracle every day as part of your new skincare protocol, you will be giving your skin the natural defensive companion that it needs to stay healthy and protected. Because when it comes down to it, your skin is your body's largest and arguably your most important immune system organ. It's your defense. It keeps us warm when it's cold, it keeps us cool when it's hot, and it protects us from environmental harm. And often, your skin is the only thing standing in the way of deadly germs entering your body. But if your skin is dry or cracked, and if you lose those natural antibacterial defenses, you could be putting yourself at risk. And in study after study, thousands in fact, have proven that honey, specifically Manuka honey, to be a safe, effective, and valuable tool in keeping germs out and keeping your skin healthy, supple, and radiant. So now is the time to decide. On the page below this video, you will be presented with a few options to claim your very own supply of Manuka Miracle and receive a free physical copy in the mail of my best-selling book, The Honey Phenomenon. But these options are only available to people who take action today. The way I look at it, you really have 3 choices. You can ignore everything in this presentation and simply take your chances. You can keep using conventional skincare products, washing your skin with harsh soaps and sanitizers, synthetic antimicrobials. But we all know that while those products do work to some extent, they can also harm the good bacteria on your skin, and that can lower your protection, drying out your skin, leaving it cracked, red, and painful. And that increases your risk even more. Your second option is to write down every ingredient you just learned about today and head down to your local health food store, your natural market, or your organic grocery store. And if you're lucky, you may find a few of the ingredients there. Hopefully, they'll be of good quality. You might even find a local supplier of manuka honey that actually imports a quality honey that passes all of the scientific tests. And then you'll have to take all of these ingredients, mix them up in your kitchen. And yes, while that can work, it can be expensive, it can be messy, it can be time consuming, and you're really at risk of getting low quality ingredients. And that's why I recommend that you make the smart choice, choice number 3. And that is to get your very own supply of Manuka Miracle today at a special discounted price. Look, I've already done all of the hard work for you. I have sourced the ingredients. I have double and triple checked their purity and their potency, and I formulated them into the world's most effective Manuka honey-based skincare formula, which you can try today 100% risk-free. You see, when you choose to try Manuka Miracle, you do so without any risk whatsoever. And that's because, like all of our products, Manuka Miracle comes with a 100% 60-day money-back guarantee. Just use Manuka Miracle twice daily on your hands, your face, anywhere else on your body, and watch how vibrant, healthy, and fresh your skin begins to look and feel. How much softer, more supple, and radiant your skin becomes, and how bright and alive it looks. And if for some reason, any reason, you don't feel as if Manuka Miracle lives up to your expectations, simply call or email our world-class US-based customer service team and they will gladly refund your money. It is that easy. Just make your selection below. Now, keep in mind that choosing the 3 or 6 container options will save you the most money, and that would be a smart choice because then you'll have enough on hand to protect your own skin and your entire family, which is even maybe more important. Remember, you will also be receiving a copy of my book, The Honey Phenomenon, for free when you place your order today. So please make that risk-free selection below. Take care of yourself and your family by giving them all an extra layer of protection today by claiming your supply of Manuka Miracle right now. Make your selection below. Thank you so much for watching, and be well.